It's officially 27 days to the commencement of the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar, and trust me, preparations are in top gear by countries, of course, to even name their squad. And of course, we expect that in a short while from now, clubs around the world will be releasing the players, maybe perhaps even release a statement. And of course, FIFA, I said they're going to disburse about £198 million to clubs that would allow their players to come play in Qatar. So the preparation is very, very much in place. And of course, we have here in Nigeria, we have a number of Nigerians who will be performing at the World Cup. Even though Nigeria, the Super Eagles will not be at the World Cup. Of course, we have people who will be performing, Davido and Kiss Daniel. Of course, we heard they will be performing at that event. So let's get started. Today we'll look at Ghana, of course. Ghana is my adopted country for the 2022 FIFA World Cup, since the Super Eagles will not be there. And there are concerns about the fitness of Inaki Williams. I remember he just switched allegiance to Ghana, and he featured in the two friendly games against Brazil and Nicaragua. And he sustained injury, very rare one, because he's always been there for Atletico Bilbao. And that might also further complicate issues for Otuado, because we had some players, I think some players just even returned from injury for Ghana. So we'll look at that today. Kayode Gundari, as usual, joins us via video. Kayode, once again, welcome to our daily countdown.
Femi, it's always a pleasure to be here. I'm always very, very excited.
James, you've not even told us, which team are you adopting for the World Cup?
Well, I have adopted.
Do you even need to think about it?
No, I've adopted Ghana, because they are our rival. Fine, anytime we meet against Nigeria, Ghana, we always want Nigeria to win. But now that they've kicked us out, we have to back them. We know the history between Nigeria and Ghana, and let's just hope that they do us proud.
Okay, Kayode said he has adopted Portugal as his country at the 2022 FIFA World Cup. So your enemies with Ghanaians at the moment.
All along, you've always accused me of having a Ghanaian.
No, because of Manchester United, you're supporting Cristiano Ronaldo.
Definitely not. I am a Ghanaian, true and true, and you know that even before now.
Okay, I know our producer will be supporting all the countries that Arsenal players will be representing at the World Cup. Okay, let's talk about Inaki Williams, Kayode. Injury concerns once again. I remember, I think he missed a game at the beginning of this season for Atletico Bilbao. Very rare one at that. And again, injury for this tournament is being a major concern to most national teams. And again, for Ghana, bearing in mind that Otuado does not even have a sufficient number of strikers available to him. Kayode.
I think one of the greatest worries around this time usually is injuries to key players. Already we learned N'Golo Kante will not be at the World Cup for France. That's a big miss. We are going to miss the little man, and I do not want to see any player not going to the World Cup on account of injury. I can understand if you miss the World Cup because of a loss of form, Femi. The injury is something I do not pray for any player. So I pray Inaki Williams gets back in time. Fine, he's a player who has this record of consistency with his club. So, but he is getting along in age, so you expect that these injuries will come more often than when he was younger. But I pray that for the period of this World Cup, he stays fit, he gets back on his feet and he stays fit so that he can help Ghana, because that's one of the reasons why he also came back to play for the Black Stars. And I hope it will be a disaster personally and for the country if he doesn't get to play after he has switched allegiance to Ghana and now gets knocked out by injury. So whatever the form and shape of the injury, I pray he's able to overcome it as soon as possible so that he gets back into the team.
Okay. Kayode, please stay with us. James, even though Atletico Bilbao manager has come out to allay fears, and he's even hoping that he will be fit for their game against Barcelona this weekend. But let's look at the importance of having Inaki Williams in that team. It brings experience, it brings power, it brings space to that forward play in the Ghanaian national team. Yeah. Let's look at how much of a blow it will be. I'm not hoping that it wouldn't be, but let's look at how much worry, I think I should say, how much worry is it going to be for Otuado right now?
It's going to be a big worry, because this is somebody that after the issue of allegiance, or you know, that issue they've taken care of it, and now so close to the World Cup, you're now hearing about injuries, and so I mean, I just hope that it's something that we're able to shake off, because you can't get to this stage now and start battling injuries and not making it to the World Cup, because I think the way the Ghanaian team has been set up now, I think Inaki is going to lead the attack. You know, he has the experience, has played to the highest level. He has played all his life for Atletico Bilbao. He's played in the La Liga. He has played against the best defenders in the whole world. And want that kind of striker who has all the experience and or you know, everything that you want in a striker, you know, to lead your line, you know. So he has played like just 2 games, and I think they've seen what he can bring to the you know, you have somebody, a target man, who you feel has the ability to finish off,
and that was lacking when they played the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Yeah,
it was very obvious.
It was so obvious.
Ghana didn't have the point man.
Exactly. You know, so for me, I just hope that this is just a slight knock, that it will shake off. The coach came, like you said, the coach said he should be able to knock it off and face Barcelona. I just hope it's not something so that we now aggravate the injury. If it means missing the game against,
another thing.
Missing Barcelona, exactly.
We don't want to do that.
You know, so if it's possible for them to even rest him, so that we're able to recuperate properly. I mean, I won't mind, but you know, they're playing against Barcelona. You want your best legs against one of the top sides in Spain. You know, so let's just hope that it's not something serious, because this is not the time the Black Stars want to miss somebody like Inaki, who everybody have been clamoring for, that wants to see in the Black Stars, and he has made it to the team, and obviously want to see him at the World Cup. And let us keep our fingers crossed and hope this is not a serious injury.
And Kayode, South Korea vice is the chairman or president now, the South Korea Football Association. Remember, we discussed it last week, the lack of respect for the Black Stars, when he said in that Group H that they must beat Ghana, of course, unconditionally. That was the word. He said unconditionally, they have to beat the Ghanaians. Of course, news has it that South Korea will be, of course, they will be releasing their squad on November 12th. November 12th, that is 8 days before the World Cup. I said that at least the squad, they have so much confidence in that squad. You have Son Heung-min. At least I'm not expecting to see Neymar or Messi in that squad, because I don't know how South Korea would just think that, of course, they will take the Black Stars to the cleaners in that group encounter.
Tell me, the South Koreans are one of Asia's strongest teams. Apart from them and Japan and Australia, I think they are the 3 top teams in Asia. And for me, I do not blame them. I don't. When I watched the program, I saw what you and James were discussing, and I took a contrary opinion that they were just pontificating on how to get out of the group. And Femi, truth be told, they have to beat Ghana if they must qualify from that group. That's not being arrogant. It is a fact. The same way we are thinking Ghana must beat them in order to progress. It's a normal thing to when you are doing strategy sessions. Who do you think you have the opportunity? They will not say they have to. They have to.
But Kayode, sorry, Kayode, you always talk about respecting the opponent. He said they have to beat Ghana, as in he said he knows they are miles apart from Portugal and Uruguay, but Ghana, the way he said it, it was more like they are already a walkover.
Femi, is it possible for Ghana to turn that into an advantage? Yes. When people underrate you, I do not take it personally, Femi. What I do is I turn challenges into advantages for me. He has said it, that should spur Ghana on to say, you know what, we are going to beat you, not only beat you, we are going to beat you black and blue. And I think it is very, very possible. The Ghanaians can do it. So I think comments are free. He's free to say anything he wants to say, but now it is now left for the Black Stars to punish South Korea on the day. What he has said should put them on.
Okay. Akayode, do you think national teams now, do you think they should feel maybe interested when their opponents release their squad for the tournament, for the World Cup? Do you think there's any need for that?
Well, no matter how you want to try and feel it's not a concern for you. I mean, you still want to have a sneak peek of who and who.
I remember how much you looked forward to when Ghana was going to release their squad for
you know how they delayed it
against Nigeria.
They delayed it for a very long time because
so much drama.
You know, so sometimes lists fine. Sometimes some countries want to say, okay, it doesn't matter. But you just have to, because every country.
Maybe for your scouts, maybe someone like Otuado now might be interested in that. Maybe
okay. For example,
analysts and all that.
For example, like maybe you want to play against a team and you don't see, if you want to play against Brazil and you find out that Neymar is not there and so on. I mean, you feel relieved something because you know what these guys bring to the table. You know, so it's a normal thing for teams to want to know who and who are made the squad, and you just look at, okay, this player is there, this player is there. Then from there you start your preparation. You know, so it's a normal thing. They're about to release them. Ghana to release their own. Everything will be in the open. We will know who is in the squad and who is not going to be in the squad. We know that some certain players are not going to go to the World Cup. Jota is not going to the World Cup for Portugal. Kante is not going to the World Cup. For you France. Know, Reece James, and there is a very big doubt. You know, so we've been seeing some players who are not going to be at the World Cup. But when all this come out and it becomes official, we know we'll be at the World Cup and we're not going to be at the World Cup. So from there, we'll take it up and let's wait and see.
Okay, Kayode, as we leave the studio now, I think the injury crisis, I don't know, I'm not a voodoo priest, but I think it's going to continue to mount up before the tournament. Now, Richard Ofori, who is supposed to be the second choice goalkeeper to Otuado, is still injured, and there are reports that he will miss the 2022 FIFA World Cup. But I think, what do you think national teams can hope to do now as like a plan B? Because it is certain that not all first team players will go to the tournament due to injury, and they are only meant to release players 2 weeks to the tournament.
That's what I'm saying. Unlike this is like I said the last time I was there, I said this is a World Cup like no other. Usually before the World Cup, teams have like a month to prepare because it's usually in the summer at the end of the season. Everybody's at home. You have 2 weeks to rest. Then you get into a base camp where you train and everything. Now you're practically playing until 2 weeks to the World Cup. So injuries will be a part, and that's why I fear for the quality of football that we're going to see at this World Cup. I fear for the quality. But that being as it is, injuries are part of the game. We only pray that we are able to minimize it. And players are careful. They have professional courtesy for each other. You do not go out to injure.
This is a World Cup. This is a World Cup, not a friendly tournament.
Tell me, it is a World Cup, but there's what they call professional courtesy. You should not injure your opponent because apart from the World Cup, this is their means of livelihood. If he doesn't get to play, he doesn't get to feed his family. So if you now deliberately go out to injure a player simply because you are hoping not to meet him at the World Cup, you are just being devilish, and it's very, very unsportsmanlike. And I think we should all speak up and speak out against this. But like all in all, I think hopefully we're going to have a World Cup that is not too low in standard because of the quality of contribution of players.
Okay. James, our producer is already telling us 1 more minute. Now, that means you have to warn all the Arsenal opponents. They have to be very careful towards party, particularly. Because at this moment now, I know Otuado will be very, very keen watching he will watch every Arsenal game. Yeah,
you know, what some national team do, maybe sometimes they contact some of these clubs so that please let my player be, leave my player out of this game. So that
was that possible?
And sometimes it's about the rapport.
The manager also wants results.
I know. Sometimes it's about understanding. You know, sometimes you know that this player has this history of injuries, and so it's about how you rapport, the rapport you have with the club side. Like when you meet them, and you know they can understand and leave the player out. You know, so it does happen. So let's just hope, like we say, let's just hope we don't see another major casualty in terms of injury as we look up to towards the World Cup.
James, thank you for coming.
Always a pleasure for me.
Kayode, thank you for joining us once again. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me, Femi. It's always a pleasure. See you tomorrow.
Yeah. And to our fans around the world, thank you for staying through with Nigeria Super Fans Forum. I hope, of course, we've taken you closer to Qatar since we began our daily countdown. So tomorrow, watch out for our continuous daily countdown to the tournament. Remember, it will be every day until that tournament kicks off in Qatar. Until tomorrow, once again, until we come your way. Bye for now. I remain Oluwafemi Ashaolu.